Right now you're listening to the Championship Absolute Football Banter podcast, where we discuss upcoming fixtures, weekly match results, the table, all the clubs and everything else. Right now, please welcome your hosts, Danny May, Tyler Taft, Karl May, Dan McGee, Ash White, Ashley Slight, and other special guests. Sit back and enjoy. Right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Absolute Banter podcast, where we're discussing weekend results, the table, and just general stuff, what's gone on. I'm welcomed by Ash White, Nottingham Forest fan, and Karl Haney, a Watford fan. How you doing, guys? All right?
Hey, you all right, Dan? You good? You all right?
Right, Paul. Not bad, you?
Yeah, man, good.
Good, glad to hear it, guys. Now we're just going to go over some of the results from the weekend. Some good, some bad, but some definitely interesting ones in there. We're going to start off with the first game being the Brentford and Nottingham Forest match. Ash, if you'd like to start on this one, I'm sure it was a good result for you boys.
Yeah, I'd take it all day long before the game. So I'd be happy with a draw, especially after the Norwich result. I think a few Forest fans are a bit deluded, saying that we were the better team most of the second half, this, that and other. If you look at the chances that your lot missed, I know we defended well, but if we'd have come up against you at the start of the season when these chances are going in for you, you're talking 5 or 6 straight away. And me, a draw all day long, good result. Yes, some solid defending from us, some great defending, but we've got some poor players and it's being shown this season, and we're not attacking right. We haven't got the attackers that's putting that ball in that box and getting it in that net for us. Well, to me, yeah, a good point.
That's put you now up to 17th, which is 7 points off relegation. Do you think, I mean, we've now got 9 games to go. Do you think you're going to risk, avoid the drop with 7 points off now?
Yeah, I think we'll stay up. I do. I know everyone says, oh, too good to go down, this, that and other. Never too good to go down. We've experienced that. We've been down that and we've gone from this league before. But I do think we've got enough to stay up there. And I think there's worse teams this season, which for our point of view is good.
Yeah.
On another season, your derbies and that'd be up there performing, and that'd be a shocking season for us, our way of performing, because they're just as bad, if not worse at times. I think we'll be safe with them teams struggling.
Well, I was just a little bit shocked because of how well you done last season, just missing off from the playoffs to where you are now. It's almost as if what's happened. You know what I mean? And
there's not a lot of clientele changed either, player-wise. It's not like we've lost all his best players.
Yeah,
you've got your players out of form, Lollies and that. His confidence, as soon as he got an injury, then his confidence has gone. Grabbing, hitting that 20-goal mark last season and that. He's struggling to hit 2 or 3 this season. I just don't know. There's just something not there. There's something not clicked this season. Whether the disappointment of that last day, everyone expected us, that's it, we've got playoffs. And then that knocked the duck off, and they've just come this season thinking, well, we did it last season, it's going to be easy this season, we'll be up there. And then result after result's gone against us and stuff. I don't know. And the manager's changing. Everyone's saying, oh, Hooten out already. Why? He's stopped a lot of these goals leaking in. That's how he works his teams. He gets them solid at the back first, then he moves forward and stuff. Yeah, we had a bad game against Norwich, 3-0, got them early goals. You're going to get it against teams. End of the day, they're flying.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. I expected to be honest, a big defeat against you lot because you're attacking players and that. But Hooten has got them battling. You could see that, like
100%.
Then that block, what Bong did, he took a leg out. That 90% of time, that's still going in net off a Bong, the mind off your striker. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a bit of luck, a bit of battling. But I just don't know. You can't say what's gone different because, like I say, most of the players are very similar.
Yeah, it's very true. Bryce,
and whether it's just
had an amazing season last season. Now,
yeah,
you know, you just can't.
I think he's been found out a bit this year.
Yeah, I mean,
as a Forest fan, I've seen quite a few clangs from him. Yeah, he's a good.
Like last season, not last season, obviously, but the season before, we're basically doing the same as what Forest are doing this season. Like, obviously, when we got to the FA Cup final and stuff, like we were flying throughout most of the season. We were challenging with Wolves and a couple of other teams for like seventh, and then for some reason after that, like the following season, like last season, we were just couldn't win. We had the same players, same manager, the lot, and we just couldn't pick up a win. It was like what's going on? Like I honestly couldn't tell you.
As other teams picked up how you play, like they have us, and they clicked on like, well, they play through him, they do that, and we're getting caught out this season because we ain't got a plan B.
Yeah.
That's all I can pick up on. That's all I can think it could be.
All right, then. Well, look, we'll move on to the next fixture, because I'm not being funny. We can talk about this for many hours, but
yeah, I didn't think you'd watch on that game.
I didn't watch it, but the next one being Stoke City 1, Derby County 0. Did we expect
great result?
Did we expect that from Stoke to be beating Derby? I mean, drawing against us during the week, they put up a real fight, and then they go and lose to Stoke. I mean, they must be
I didn't really look at that result in too much detail. Not going to lie, obviously, I was more interested in my boys playing. So, yeah, I didn't really look into that too much detail. I was more looking at like the Brentford, Swansea, and a couple of other games, really, like Norwich, obviously. But
well, yeah, we're going to come to those results later on in the episode because we got to talk about your result against Birmingham. But I mean, with Stoke, yeah, you'd expect them to beat Derby, but Derby are one of those teams on their day, they could beat whoever they want to. You know, so
I think that's what it's like in this league, and that's the reason why I loved it. I prefer the Championship over the Premiership, purely for the fact that literally it's not just Derby, it's literally anyone in the league can beat anyone. You can have, like, for example, you can literally have like Sheffield Wednesday or whoever literally beating Norwich like 3-4-0 in this league, and you can just never tell. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I love it so much.
Well, you must have been happy with that, Ash, though, seeing Derby lose. I bet that must have made your weekend.
Yeah. Well, it does, especially with us not winning, because a win for Derby would have put them above us.
Yeah.
And as bad as the season is, it'll be nice to have 2 seasons on trot above them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted a Stoke win, but Derby's just like us. You can't predict them. They're not a team to bet on because, like you say, draw against you, go and get beat by Stoke. Mm-hmm. We got battered by Norwich, got a draw against you, could have nicked it because we did have chances. But like he's just said, every game, you can't. Championship's not a betting league for me because nobody's guaranteed it. So, yeah, great result for us, but yet again, Derby ain't a bad season.
Right, the next result, Bristol City 0, Rotherham 2. Great result for Rotherham. They are now only 3 points off. I mean, 3 points off, safety with 4 games in hand. It's quite, if they do it, it's going to be some season for them. And I see them avoiding relegation with those 4 games in hand. And then going beating Bristol City 2-0, it just goes to show why they deserve to kind of stay up, I think. What did you boys think?
I mean, I don't know as well because of the thing that was put on the group earlier about the Rotherham getting deducted 10 points or something on Sky Sports. I don't know how true that is or whatever. I don't know if it was another fan just like trying to shove the nail in or whatever. But
I don't think that comes into effect now. I think that'll be the start of next season that comes into effect.
Right, okay, yeah.
True. Same as Sheffield Wednesday points, like, this season.
Yeah, this teams down there a few wins up, don't?
Yeah.
The teams in trouble seem to be picking some surprise victories up, which is the worrying factor for us teams just above it. But it's that games in hand that's worrying with Rotherham. They only need to pick a couple of them wins up out of the 4, and they're still on level games played. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just points behind. Yeah, that's a good win for them. Very good win.
Right, the next one being Coventry 0, Wickham 0. Probably the most boring result from the weekend. But Wickham, they look near enough gone, if I'm being honest. They 11 points off safety. They look near enough gone. But then again, to draw against Coventry aren't a bad side when they turn up on their day.
No, goals in them, aren't they? Goals.
Yeah.
But on the Wickham thing, I mean, have I missed something? What's happened to the Beast? Akinfenwa?
Well,
where's he disappeared?
Head, isn't he? He's not starting every game.
He's more coming on as an impact sub, like when all the defenders are getting a little bit tired and stuff, and he comes on near the end to kind of bully him, and then obviously because everyone knows the Beast.
Yeah.
I
just wondered where he'd gone because.
What were you saying? Go on. Sorry.
Hey.
What were you saying? Sorry, I think got a bit cut off there.
We're at Carl that we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I had someone walking through the door, so I was just saying, like, just be quiet a little bit for.
Right. Okay. We'll move on to the next result.
Now,
Yeah.
Okay. Moving about there. Trying to find somewhere quiet, eh?
Yeah, somewhere a little bit quiet.
Right, okay. The next result being Preston 0, Luton Town 0. 1, sorry. Preston on their day, good team. Luton, they're very hit and miss, aren't they? But they're flying at the moment. I didn't expect them to be where they are at the moment.
Well, because last season they were battling relegation and only just about crept out of it, really, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember.
They're looking like a mid-table team
Hmm.
at the moment. Then again, they're only 12 points off playoffs. Let's never say never. But could you imagine Luton Town in the playoffs? Can't see it, but you just never know.
I'd rather it didn't happen, if I'm honest, being a Watford fan, obviously, but
Yeah, you must have been glad to see that. Well, no, actually, no, beating them Preston. Ash, thoughts on that?
I think Luton's a totally different team under that manager. That's my thing. Last season when he took on, he brings Luton to life. Really, I think it's just a totally different story. They link well. He's their manager, end of, and it suits them. So Preston, I don't know what to say. I thought they were doing well at the start, and then they seem to have dropped off, and a few things not clicking for them. So it's another one of them games to me. It's another game like the Coventry Wickham. It's not an interesting game.
No, not necessarily.
It is what it is. And Luton, good win for them.
Right, the next one being Carl. You'll like this one, mate. Watford 3, Birmingham 0. You just can't stop. You can't stop winning. What's going on? What's the secret?
I don't know. It's only been like the last few games, really. Well, not few games, obviously. It's been quite a few now, but I only noticed a few people, few of my friends are also Watford fans. We've noticed the fact that all the boys seem to be actually getting excited when we score. Whereas before, the score and the most noticeable one was Ismail Assar, and he'd literally be like, "I scored." And you're like, "What? You're getting paid thousands and thousands of pounds to score a goal, and you're not getting excited."
Mm-hmm.
And then again, like I said, recently, every time we score, they're all together. When we beat, who was it? I think it was Cardiff. Last week before, and you literally see all the players hugging each other, the staff getting involved, all hugging each other. It's annoying to see, obviously with COVID and that, but to see the team chemistry and stuff, actually how much the teams change, it's great to see. Really, really is great to see.
Has it changed since Dean has not been playing lately, though?
Well, to be honest, like as much as I love Troy for the amount of stuff he's done with the club and stuff, I just I've not think he's been able to hack it for the last two years. If I'm honest, I don't think it's a striker. He's a cam at best. Like just Bennett, because he, like, yes he's big, he's bulky, like a beast sort of geezer. Like that he can ping a pass, you know, like and he that's what even when we got promoted with like Vidjar and all them boys like a few seasons ago, like he wasn't really the striker. He was the cam sort of centre forward sort of geezer that would pass on to Vidjar that can sprint past everyone and just tuck it in. Like, but honestly, it's
that's now 6 points. That's 6 points off from Swansea, who are third. The real question is, do you see yourselves being promoted come the final day of the season?
I reckon we'll be cutting it close. I reckon if we get top two, well, obviously we're going up, obviously, but I reckon the final few games, I think we got one of the hardest run-ins as well.
You and Swansea do, yeah.
Yeah. No, for us, like we've got Swansea last game of the season. We've got Brentford
second last game of the season.
But we've got most of the top 8 we've got coming up, all one after the other, and then plus we've got our rivals Luton as well. So it's going to be a difficult run for us. If we have to go through playoffs, I don't think we'll do it. I reckon we'll do what we normally do, get through to the final, and then lose that. Unless we got you boys, as in Brentford, because you've not got a great run in the finals, really, have you?
And we'll just touch very quickly on Birmingham. Obviously, what we were talking about, Rotherham being 3 points, the difference between 3 points between Rotherham and Birmingham, with Rotherham 4 games in hand, Birmingham having the second biggest, less goal difference in the league. It's, if Rotherham pick up points here, it'd be bye-bye Championship, hello League One for Birmingham. Can you see it happening, boys?
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be close, really close. But again, it all just depends on Rotherham now, to be fair, for Birmingham. Obviously themselves as well, but they'll also be keeping a massive eye.
Same game.
Sorry?
Them games in hand will change that. Rotherham will win a couple of them and it'll totally change it. So Birmingham's definitely looking over the shoulder and worried now.
They should be as well. Right, the next one being Norwich City 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. I didn't expect a draw there. I expected Norwich to win that. But what a result for Blackburn.
Yeah, 100%. When I saw it, I think it was just before Watford kicked off, and I saw that and I was like, "Are you joking?" Like, that's a massive result for us, even you lads, like Brentford and Swansea. Like, yes, it means they drew, but it's 2 points dropped. Like, they don't look like a team that draw at the moment. They literally just win. That was a really really good result for everyone else.
Ash, were you quite surprised at that?
I think, like you say, with Championship, you can't be surprised at any result. But I think it's a bit like complacency just dropped in with Norwich. It's win, like you say, win. They come up, and Blackburn aren't no mugs, and they've got some good lads. So yeah and no, it's one of them results. You could see it happening, but you didn't expect it to happen. So yeah, they'll be back to winning ways again.
Right, we'll move on to the next one. Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 0. Now, this is another one of those, it's not a big game, but if Middlesbrough want any chance of playoffs, they can't be losing games like this, can they?
No.
I mean, we'll look at the table.
No, definitely.
With Middlesbrough now 9th, and they're still in with a shout. They're 6 points off the playoffs, but it's between, when you've got 9th, 8th and 7th, all those teams all going for that 6th spot. they've really got to start picking up points if Borough want to be in that 6th place.
Yeah, it's no against Millwall, but that is a game that you need to be winning.
Yeah.
Because I know it sounds, but to be fair, they've hit a bit of form as well lately, haven't they? I mean, even Mason Bennett banging a few goals in, bless him. So it's another one of them games. But Middlesbrough, you would have thought I'd have had a little bit too much from and been up for it more. So,
Carl?
Oh, sorry, lads. I was saying, aren't Millwall like challenging sort of for the playoffs as well, or am I seeing things?
Millwall are 10th. They're 10 points off the playoffs. Borough are just ahead of them by 4 points. So it was really a result that meant a lot for both teams, challenging towards the end of the season. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. We'll move on to the next one. Probably the biggest shock of this weekend. Barnsley 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Now, if I had £10, left in my name, I would have put a Barnsley win on that. But like you said earlier, Ash, you can't bet on the Championship. Barnsley are having this amazing run and go and lose to Sheffield Wednesday out of all people. It's just a massive shock.
That man, goal scorer Jordan Rhodes, looks like he's back.
Yeah, finally, he's been missing for a while.
Yeah, he knows where net is though. He's always been one of them strikers. I know he's had a few hit and miss seasons, but you can't write him off.
No, definitely not. I mean, still, even after that loss, Barnsley still 5th. 4 points of us. I mean, they look pretty. I mean, they're 5 points safe in playoff position. It's really just one of them. After them, being so close to being relegated, playing us last game of the season meant massively for both clubs. And they go on this sort of run to where they are now. You got to give hats off to whatever Barnsley are doing this season.
Yeah, they do.
But the real question is, come the end of the season, do you see them still being in that playoff position, or do you, after that loss, do you seem to think that maybe their confidence will drop, or do you think they'll carry this out?
Yeah, they'll be in playoffs. It would have been a massive win for them, like you say, with you dropping points, Norwich dropping points. It would have been a big win, but I think they'll be one of the teams that's in playoffs. Their form's been there most of the season. They haven't been up and down. I think it's just one of them things with results. Sheffield Wednesday's fighting for the life. So I think they'll still be in playoffs, definite.
I think the same, if I'm honest. Like, it's just a blip and it happens, unfortunately. Sometimes you just get one of those games and it just doesn't go your way. I think that's one of those, unfortunately. Yeah, I reckon they'll get 3 points that week.
Right, we'll move on to the next result. Reading 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Massive result for QPR, if I'm being honest. Not so good for Reading. They are in 6th still, 3 points safe, being in the playoffs. But QPR, you've got to give hats off to them, especially during the week playing Millwall, being 2-0 down and coming back to win it 3-2. That's quite a good result for QPR, as much as I don't like to admit it. That's a good result for them. We'll go to you. I
think QPR are one of them proper champions. QPR, one of them proper championship teams, aren't they? You never know what to expect from them. They are true to form. They win one, they lose one, they draw. They're losing 2-0, they win 3-2, they draw 1-0. I mean, we're a team up there in playoffs. The QPR have always been that sort of team that you don't know what you're going to get when you go to play. So, to me, it's one of them results. QPR is a tough place to play home or away, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're one of them teams you don't know which QPR you're going to come up against.
Very true.
So, one of them.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, even when it was in the Premiership, they were the same sort of thing as well. If I'm honest, but yes, it's like 20 years ago now. Obviously, not literally 20 years ago, but feels like it sometimes. But yeah, like same sort of thing. Like just win, lose, draw, maybe like. And then again, it's like I was saying earlier. That's the reason why I like Championship football, because you can be like 3-0 down and end up winning like 5-4, and you're just like, what the like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Right. We'll go on to the last result of the weekend. That one being Swansea 0, Cardiff 1, the South Wales derby. What a massive win for Cardiff, but they are flying on form, and I think they deserve that win, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, Tin Pot derby.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But Swansea City, they're one of those. They've got they've got a game in hand over Watford. It was great for us to see them lose, but now you see Cardiff, they're starting to creep up there now. They're only 4 points off playoffs, so that was a massive, massive win for Cardiff if they want any chance.
Just changing to a tough manager. He gets his teams playing like tight and tough. Old school manager, isn't he? So Mick McCarthy. So it's one of them. Cardiff, they've got the tightness back now. They're starting to pick odd goals up. They've got a couple of quality players in there, Harry Wilson's and all them. But I don't know. I can't see them creeping into playoffs, if I'm honest.
Carl, I bet you were happy with that, Carl.
More than happy. More than that, I was watching it as well, and I was just like, "Oh, brilliant!" I was getting a little bit worried, getting near like the 95th, 96th minute, because you know what Swansea are like recently, starting to get penalties right near the end of the game. Bit dubious normally, but luckily they didn't get one of them, which I was quite happy, if I'm honest.
Right, okay, let's come to the end of it. But what we'll do very quickly, if you could sum up your team's performance in one word, we'll start with you, Ash.
Lucky.
Yeah. Carl.
Pretty.
What's that, mate? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Now, what we'll very quickly do, we'll just do this just very quickly between the both of you. We'll just go through these upcoming results and we'll just do very quick score predictions. Okay. Bristol City at home to Stoke City. Ash, who's going to win that one? Or is it going to be
1-0?
1-0. Carl?
2-1 Bristol City.
I'm going to have to go with Bristol on this one. Wycombe Blackburn Rovers. Wycombe at home. Ash?
1-0 Blackburn.
Carl?
3-1 Blackburn.
I can see a Blackburn win there as well, but it'd be massive for Wycombe. Millwall Rotherham. Ash?
Millwall 2-1.
Yeah. Carl?
1-0 Millwall.
Okay. We got next one being Derby County, Luton. And don't be biased here, Ash.
0-0. 0-0.
No. Yeah, I'll have to go the same actually. 0-0.
Cardiff City at home to Nottingham Forest. Ash?
Cardiff's been playing now. We have. I'm going to go 2-1 us.
Good. Carl?
I'll go 2-1 Derby.
Okay. The next one being, let me find it here. Watford, Sheffield Wednesday, Watford at home. What are we going for?
2-0 Watford.
Carl? I'd have to say same result as this week, 3-0.
Right, okay. We got Preston at home to Norwich City. Ash?
3-1 Norwich.
3-1 Norwich. That's a good one. Carl?
I'll say 4-1 Norwich.
Right, next one being Bournemouth Borough.
The Jonathan Woodgate effect, is it? 2-2.
Carl?
3-2 Bournemouth.
Okay. QPR at home to Coventry.
1-1.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
1-0 PPR.
Right, next one being massive game. This Barnsley Reading.
2-1 Barnsley.
1-0 Barnsley.
Right, next one being Birmingham at home to Swansea.
3-0 Swansea.
Okay. The last one being Huddersfield at home to Brentford. And you better say the right answer.
I'll give you a 2-0 win. I think you'll find it again.
Carl? Couldn't hear you there, mate. I think there might be a little bit of problem with your audio there.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Lovely stuff. I think I had 3-1 Brentford there. I'll take that. Or 10-1. I'll take 10-1 though. Right, boys. Just remember those results. We've now got the international break. So there'll be a week off from football. What do we do with our lives? Nobody knows, especially in lockdown anyway. Let's just get home, have a few beers and get on with it. And those matches are commencing the start of April. Okay. Right then, boys. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for discussing the results with me and the fixtures coming up. Yeah, until next time, guys.
Brilliant. See you all later.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.